Hello YouTube, this is Braden with Midwest Websites, your solution for business website design and search engine optimization. Have you taken steps to protect your website from hackers? If not, swing by our store to take a look at our options for malware scanners and firewalls. Link in the description below. Speaking of website security, today we're going to take a look at a WordPress plugin that is designed to help protect your website against brute force attacks. Basically, these are attempts that try to force their way into your website by putting in a bunch of different password combinations to try and break in with either an existing user you have set up or a new user that's been placed in your database. The Limit Login Attempts plugin has recently been renamed Limit Login Attempts Reloaded and is designed specifically to help keep these types of attacks from occurring. As you can see, I've got it installed in a blank WordPress installation already. It's the only plugin that's here, and we're hosting on a shared GoDaddy cPanel platform. When you install this plugin, you'll find that there's a new button added to your WordPress settings down below here called Limit Login Attempts. By clicking on it, you can actually go in and access all the settings for this plugin. There's not really a lot that's too complicated here. Basically, you have the ability to customize how many retries someone has to log into WordPress admin, how long they're locked out for if someone misses their login attempts X number of times, or forgets their password and puts the wrong one in several times. You can also choose to increase the lockout period if there are multiple lockouts, basically back to back. And you can also choose how long it is until a given IP address's login attempts are reset back to where they'll start at the top of the list here again. Now, as far as the GDPR compliance checkbox here, for those of you who are in Europe, basically what this does is it hashes the IP addresses that are recorded in the lockout log using an encryption method called MD5. If you've watched some of our other WordPress videos, you'll probably remember that I've gone over this when it comes to setting up user passwords in your database. This is that same type of encryption, just to make sure that that data is not able to be read as plain text to protect the information that's being submitted. Down below here, if you know a specific username or a specific IP address that always should be whitelisted, say if you have a business IP address that you know is only yours and should always let you in, or always make sure that you're not locked out, you can put either that IP address or that IP range in the left here, or the individual usernames in the right. You've got blacklist options, which will always block the same arrangements for IP addresses and users so that they're always going to be blocked from being able to log in here. And if you do have any users who have been locked out, down below here at the bottom, there will usually be a lockout log where you can go in and see which IP and which user were locked out and when. So you can see everything that's been going on with your website to see if someone is trying to brute force their way in, say if you see the same user or IP range X number of times in a given period, or if you've got someone who is chronically forgetting their password and you need to make sure that they've got one that's a little easier to remember. From the user side of things, they actually have a few screenshots of what some of these pages will look like when someone is trying to log in when the Limit Login Attempts plugin is running. This first one will basically show you what a screen is going to look like when you fail to put in the correct username or password. It'll tell you how many attempts you have left. By default, your settings are set to 4. You can increase or decrease that as you see fit. After you've failed with your attempts X number of times, you'll be locked out, which will prevent you from logging in even with the correct credentials for X period of time. The default setting for that is 20 minutes. And the lockout log that I was talking about is featured in this third section, where you can basically see what it will kind of look like down here on the bottom portion. You've got the date the user was locked out, the IP address, and the user they were trying to log in as well as how many lockouts that user has had in total. Some hosting providers also do install this plugin by default as part of their WordPress installations. GoDaddy's cPanel setup is one such provider where this plugin is installed automatically. So if you've been seeing screenshots like this one or this one come up when you've been trying to log in and you can't figure out why, this is the reason. And that concludes our tour of Limit Login Attempts Reloaded. Thanks as always for watching this video guide. If it has been of help to you, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Definitely helps the channel, definitely helps us get this information out to those who need it. And have a great rest of the day.